Shalom, Israel. This is Bishop Nathaniel. I want you to know that you can view all our Sabbath classes live on IUIC TV. That's right, I said on IUIC TV. Download the app today.
So this talking about the noise of the archers and stuff. That's talking about what's to come when it's talking about World War III. When the missiles start coming in the air and stuff like that, the people that's going to be delivered are the ones that's rehearsing the righteous acts. That's doing the things God told us to do. Meaning keeping the Sabbath day, Feast of Tabernacles, Feast of Dedication, the new moons, watching our dietary laws, our dress codes, all those other things, right? We're supposed to be rehearsing those things while we here in our captivity, right? Because that's what the place of drawing waters is. That's talking about servitude. That's what we are right now. Just like you said, you're struggling right now looking for a place. A lot of our people going through that right now, especially during this COVID season. So a lot of people get misplaced trying to find places to go, places to stay, stuff like that. That's why it's important to get with your brothers, because give me Ecclesiastes. Yep. That's important because I know these brothers, they know that we've been around each other enough to know each other, right? So I can trust these brothers because we believe the same thing, we think the same thing, we do the same thing. We actually seen them practicing, right? Because they wouldn't even have no purple shirt on if they wasn't doing the right thing, right? It's an honor to put this shirt on because now right, and that means we done been tried by the laws of God and tested enough to know that we can go out here and teach our people the right way, right? So in that, I know that if my brother lacking in something and he come and ask me for help, I'm gonna help him out because I can trust him. You see what I'm saying? But it takes for the people to come around you and so we can know your spirit, know who we dealing with. I know these brothers not going.
That's how they told us to test it. Yahweh say in the scripture that not everybody.
Right. Test the spirit, right? So that's the same thing. So all these brothers right here, all our spirits been tested. That's why we out here right now, showing us stuff.
I see you got the show on the test.
Right. We'll get into that too. I got a couple things I want to get into. But read that. The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 4, verse 9. Yep. Two are better than one. Right. Because they have a good reward for their labor. It says two's better than one. So when you're sitting out there and you need help, I got my brother. I know if I look, earlier in the week I said, hey, I need some gas money. But I got you. Bam. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I need something to pay. I'm good to go. And not tripping like, no, I got you. He's like, nah, he ain't hit me like, I need that money, man. Nah, because I know, look, if he need me in the future, I got him too. That's how we work with each other. They said two's better than one because we have a good reward for our labor. God said, love your neighbor like you love yourself. I'm not gonna be sitting out here stranded. I know he ain't gonna leave me out there stranded. I'm gonna leave him stranded, right? That's loving your neighbor like you love yourself, right? That's right. Verse 10. For if they fall, the one will lift up his fellow. So now if one of these brothers go in a bad way, if I catch them in the midst of sin or anything, I'm gonna catch them and be like, bro, you're going off. You gotta correct yourself. Or if they're going through some type of struggle or something like that, I'm gonna be there to help them because that's my brother, right? Read. But woe to him that is alone when he falleth. It said, woe to those that's alone. That means destruction. That means you don't have nobody there to help you when you fall. You don't have nobody to help you through your struggles, or give you a path, or guidance, or something, point you in the right direction, because you're by yourself. That's what a lot of our people deal with right now, because we got this thing in the black community where it's a lot of pride, especially with men, where we think we should struggle alone. We should instead of telling somebody what's going on, we hold it in. We don't say nothing. Always angry. And we bottle it up, and then eventually it explodes like a volcano. And it's usually somebody else caught in the path because we don't know how to express those things. But when you're around your brothers that believe, you're around the law-keeping people that's keeping the commandments of God, know how to work and move throughout the scriptures and stuff to help each other. That's where you can start elevating yourself and start moving ahead instead of having to stay stagnant. Because when you're staying stagnant, that's the same as moving backwards. Right? You should be moving forward. That's what the whole thing about the Bible is, try to correct what we're doing and try to move forward. So it said two's better than one, because when you fall, somebody gonna be there to help you get back up on your feet. So that's why we saying the importance when we read about the Sabbath day on congregating, because you come around and learn and get yourself right, you'll start to fix things in your life on your own just by brothers holding you accountable by the things that you're doing. You see what I'm saying? Now, a lot of times with our people, we don't like to come around each other because we don't want to be held accountable. We don't want somebody else telling us what to do. Because in Israel's minds, we already got it set up in ourselves to do what we want to do.
When I was with Yahweh, we was talking, besides the bad stuff, but we was talking specifically to hold each other accountable, and also our dress code, and also how we conduct ourselves, meaning that there should be no secret among family for something that's going to be detrimental to everybody. But what I do affects everybody else. If I'm representing, meaning that how all y'all represent right now,
right?
And say you did something and somebody seen that, they can put that and propagate that to make everybody else say, well, that's what they all about. And
exactly.
That's why everybody got to be on point.
Exactly. So we hold each other accountable. That means the same thing, because if you're in a body of believers and you're in the midst of sin, and you got something that's detrimental to the whole congregation, you could hold the congregation back. You know what I'm saying? The spirit that you got on that God wants you to correct, if you're not correcting it, it could affect all the other people around you as well. So that's the reason why it's important to come together. So now I'm gonna get into some laws, because I'm pretty sure you're familiar with this. Give me Numbers 15 and 38. I'm pretty sure you're familiar because you just mentioned it, right? The book of Numbers, chapter 15, verse 38. Speak unto the children of Israel and bid them that they make them fringes in the borders of their garments throughout their generations. Right. So now that's what we're going into. These right here, you call them tassels, or these called fringes.
I have a prayer shawl. I have 4 big long.
The ZZs.
Those had knots.
Yeah, the ZZs or whatever. Zits. I don't know how to pronounce it.
That's it.
That's the things, right? Yeah. You know that ain't the Bible custom. You know that's Judaism.
Of course. I'm familiar with the Torah and I'm familiar with the Torah and the
Kabbalah, the Tanakh,
and the Hirah. That's because I had to study that also.
Right.
Exactly.
Well, you know
how they change some of them.
Right. Well, you know the Torah is just the first 5 books, and then the Tanakh is just the prophets afterwards. They got Joshua.
5 books, but they got a little bit more. They got their version of Adam and Eve is different. They got 2 Adams.
Exactly right. Now that's that's non-biblical. That's what I'm saying. You gotta watch.
That's why I said I had to study that to understand they combine thinking, because
right.
Truth, you want us to know.
Because when it said fringes, it didn't say zits and 4 spots on your shirt. It said fringes and the border of your garment. The border is the entire shirt, right? So that means it's supposed to go all the way around. You know, 4 quarters make a whole dollar, right? So we have people that got that doctrine where it's like the 4 corners and they put them 4 strings on and think that's what it's talking about. It's not what it's talking about. It's talking about all the way around your shirt, all the way around the borders of your garments. So that's what we talking about. Read that. If you read. And that they put upon the fringe of the borders a ribbon of blue. So if it's just 4 spots in your shirt, you know, where did the ribbon go? You know what I'm saying? It's only one little spot. So that right there again is talking about the whole entire thing. So as you can see how we got it set up, you got the fringes, and right on top above the fringes you got the border, the ribbon of blue, right? And what's that for? Read. And it shall be unto you for a fringe, that you may look upon it and remember all the commandments of the Lord. So this is supposed to keep you honest with God. This is supposed to keep you out of sin. When you get ready to go to the store, and like, hey, you know, the devil jump on you, be like, man, look, I ain't smoked no Jazz Black and Mild in a while, man. I kind of like the smell of that. And you about to buy that bug, and then you like, wait a minute. You like, wait a minute. I forgot I put this shirt on with these fringes today. The hell I look like buying Black and Mild in front of everybody. In front of everybody. Because when you get the fringes on, everybody else know that you different too. They looking at you like, dang. What he got on them shirts right there? In 2022, ain't nobody not heard of the Israelites before. So we everywhere. We all over the world. So now they looking at you, they know who you are. It ain't like 5 years ago, they'd be like, I don't know what that is. That's kind of cool. Like, no, they know exactly who you are. And they see you in there about to buy a cigarette. I thought the Israelites didn't smoke. I thought the Israelites didn't show up in the strip club. I thought the Israelites didn't go to the club. They kept the Sabbath day. Now you done got put on notice by everybody, including God. Right. They gonna look at you crazy like, damn, man.
Once you got on this certain, that's really keep you in remembrance. Because if you walk into a place and you say, well, I ain't gonna do that for you. They see it gonna keep you in remembrance that I'm representing everybody. That's why we used to wear the prayer tassel. We had the prayer tassel that was on there that we used to wear because they had, like you said, it was like that, but it was a tassel. Right. And we walked around everywhere with it. And when we walked with this on, it was like that we are the temple. And the temple must be purified. Right. So we walk to a person. Now see, and I won't buy nothing or sell nothing. I want to look at the person down there because I keep myself in remembrance all day long that Yahweh is watching me. And I'm representing him. Right. Now see with that right there, that's like y'all, that was y'all personal thing amongst yourselves. Yeah. Right? Yeah. Give me Matthew 5. You know what I want? Yep, you know what I want. Now that was a personal thing between y'all. Y'all understood that, right? The reason God tell you put these on you and stuff like that and then walk amongst the people in society is because he wants everybody else to inquire about that too. Why is it that the Israelites, when we go places, we carry ourselves a certain way? When we go places, let's say people barbecuing, they got pork ribs on the grill. We like, nah, get away from us with that. We don't mess with that pork. Why y'all don't eat pork? A lot of people be like, y'all Muslim. Like, nah, it's not Muslim. Muslims stole what they learned from the Bible. Right. The Bible tells us not to eat that stuff. So now people asking questions like, y'all different than everyone else. There's a reason why he tells us to keep them outward commandments so that not only to keep yourself in check, but everyone else can see and learn from your example. 5:14, I think. The book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 14. Yep. You are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid. Right. So he's saying that you're supposed to be the one that's noticed. People are supposed to notice you and how you walk, the way you carry yourself, your conversation. Every little thing about keeping the commandments is important because you going somewhere keeping the commandments, somebody can ask you questions, and now you got somebody you can pull into the truth, into the faith, right? Because of their questions, because they might not have known something. We just had a sister come up here for like an hour with her kids. And she didn't know nothing about the Bible. And she been going to church her whole life. But all the stuff that we just showed her, she like, dang, now I got to think about that stuff. Now it's up to her to go back and figure that stuff out. That's what you're supposed to be doing. You got to get you some fringes and get your dress code together, because even though you're going through what you're going through, it's still going to help somebody else out. It's going to help somebody because the blessings come from keeping the commandments. You know that, right? I mean, I do. The reason I don't wear that, see, I don't know. When I was up under, the other brother, I do not wear that. I do not wear it. If I'm not able to walk like I talk. Because I don't want to misrepresent. I don't do nothing that's out of the land anyway. Right. I just don't have a place associated with being stable where I can come in like that. So by me going through my struggle, I want to keep my struggle separated from brotherhood, because you don't want to look like a person that's going to leave. Right. And trust me, I know. And we ain't gonna be on your personal business like that. What we're gonna do though is just right. That's what it is. We want you to correct what you need to fix. That's sin. Sin is what needs to be fixed. Because the situation in your personal life, that's separate from what everybody else got going on. Right. That's between you and the Lord. But give me Philippians 2:12. That's what I want. Philippians 2:12. Because when no one else is watching, you're still supposed to be doing your best to get yourself right. So whether your situation means that you can't congregate for the time being, in that time that you're not around and you're trying to get yourself together, you're supposed to be doing it outside of the sight of everybody else. Read that. The book of Philippians, chapter 2, verse 12. Wherefore, my beloved, as you have always obeyed, not as in my presence only. Not our presence only. You don't need to be around the body to be keeping the commandments. Oh, no. Right? Now, that's one thing. Now, it is a commandment to congregate, yes. So you're supposed to be working towards doing that. Because watch, read that. But now, much more in my absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. God said, work out your own salvation. You know what it takes to get salvation. So now whatever you're going through right now, it's up to you to fix those steps. You know what I'm saying? If right now, okay, my first step is get my living situation in order. Bam. Now I ain't got no excuse to why I can't congregate like the Bible says.
What is a nation?
Some of us used to sell drugs.
Nation is men leading by example. Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is children with role models.